Alright, back at it. MMA Quick Hits, the only MMA channel that fucking matters. This video request came from the OG hitter on deck, platinum hitter on deck, Jack Sock. You told me to tell you what I think about Glover Teixeira versus Alexander Gustafsson. First of all, I want to just cut all the bullshit out and tell you who I'm picking to win this fight. I'm gonna pick Alexander Gustafsson, whatever you want to call him. I'm not a fan of the guy. I already went over the reason why. The reason I don't like the guy is because he was such a good fighter, such a dominant fighter, such an actual mauler at the start of his career. Then he lost one time to Phil Davis, and he changed his entire fighting style. Actually started training with Phil Davis, and he's just never been good to me ever since. That's just my personal opinion, just doesn't have the finishing power that he used to have, and so on. I'm going for Alex to win this fight just because he's almost like a Michael Bisping type of character where he uses a whole lot of movement. He's always on his bike, but he does hit you with those baby punches the entire night. The first Alexander Gustafsson 1.0, man, he was hitting you with cruel intentions. He was trying to actually finish you. This guy, if he could get you and he hurts you, he will definitely try to swarm in for the finish, and that's one thing that is still somewhat entertaining about Alexander Gustafsson. If he hurts you, he will literally try to get the finish right at that moment. But other than that, I don't see him finishing Glover Teixeira, and I don't think that he's going to lose to Glover Teixeira, a guy that's just going to try to load up one big punch and follow him the entire night. Glover has a decent jab. He doesn't have a good jab. So when it's not working, he stops using it, and he just starts tracking you all around the octagon, up and down, left and right around the octagon all night with the right hand cocked and loaded, just trying to land something big. Alex is taller than him, obviously. I believe he's 6'5" or something like that. So it's gonna take like a lot of bad angles for Gus to actually get hit by him. Now obviously Gustafsson was put to sleep by Anthony Johnson, but Anthony Johnson is a different monster, man. He just has that tense energy, and he just drops bombs on you, and there's nothing you could do about it. Glover Teixeira, man, typically he has to land one really, really clean, precise shot to finish anyone. Anthony Johnson touches your head, your cheek, it grazes you, it barely clips you, or he could clip you up and your ass is going to sleep. Anthony Johnson, man, he had a different type of power, man. I'm telling you guys right now, if you go watch Sugar Shane Mosley knockout highlights, you will see that he's tightly wound just like Anthony Johnson. It's like his whole entire body is tense and clenched up with every fucking punch. And that's what made Anthony Johnson special. Glover doesn't have that type of striking. He doesn't have that type of power. Glover Teixeira seems like a guy that's literally just heavy-handed, and when he lands clean, it's lights out. That's the bottom line about that. I think Alexander Gustafsson is going to go into a little bit of a war with the guy. I think it's going to be a similar fight to Alexander Gustafsson and DC, but I do think Alexander Gustafsson is going to have I think he's going to be able to pull away a little bit more in every round to where it's a unanimous decision. Glover Teixeira has not evolved, has not tried to evolve as an MMA fighter, and it has a lot to do with his coaching. In my opinion, obviously he came to the UFC under the tutelage of Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, as we all know. And what was Chuck Liddell, man? He was a home run hitter, man. Just cock that right hand and throw hands. But Glover Teixeira, man, he doesn't have any setups. He literally doesn't have any setups. If you want to stand and bang with him, you might get knocked out. If you're smart enough to use some movement and use your jab and use a couple of kicks to the body, it's literally going to be an easy victory for you that night against Glover Teixeira. Jack Sock, you ask me who I'm picking Alexander Gustafsson to win, and this is one of the only times I'll pick this motherfucker to win. I don't know what else to say. Man, fuck it. It is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comments.